come to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am Josh. That is Jason. This is Redpill Project's Daily Dose, live with you Monday through Thursday, 6:30-ish p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And today is Monday, May 3rd. Tomorrow's May the 4th be with you. Oh man, we're going to do some Star Wars tomorrow. But this is where we talk about, Red Pill Project's Daily Dose, where we talk about the unfoldment of the global conspiracy, of what is happening in the world, the geopolitical, geofinancial situation. And so, we might want to think that there's really not much going on in the world. But we get subtle clues that flow along the narrative that we've seen being playing out for the last couple of months and years here. Jay, you remember what I said last week? We were talking about Macron and in France and how the generals over, I think it was 20-something generals came out and said that we need to have a civil war in France. So this is not being reported on any news stations, but inside information is Macron has started arresting those generals.
Ooh, that's not going to go over very well.
No, it's not going to go over very well at all. Is that few of these generals have already been arrested, and more are coming to be arrested. And I don't think they're fleeing for their lives from what I've heard. So very interesting there. Someone just said foxhole down. Oh, that's not good.
It's interesting. Yeah, let me know if you got to stop so you can do something. But it's one of the things that I always found was interesting is how governments have learned throughout history and how to control the people. For instance, the French Revolution, if I'm not mistaken, what they learned from that is that when your social structure, your social dynamics goes from a pyramid shape, right? Wealthy at the top, middle class is heavy, and then poverty at the end, switches to an hourglass where you squeeze the middle class, the wealthier become wealthier, the poorer get poorer, creates revolution. And so hence part of the welfare system, right?
Right.
I mean, the welfare system is there simply to keep the poor happy enough not to revolt. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
And so you would think that Macron, right, would be smart enough to understand that arresting generals is a really, really bad idea, because that's just going to piss the wrong people off.
Well,
and what kind of message does that say? It says, hey, my power is more important than the stability of my country.
There it is.
That's a bad thing.
That it is. And so it's interesting to see where this is going to go. And for those on Foxhole, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going on over there. If people are having problems with Foxhole, I'm just going to go ahead and post this. Just like that. Go to Pilled. We'll create a new topic. We'll just throw this in there. Foxhole problems watch here. Cancel that. Sorry, guys. Just let me take care of this real quick. I can't even get Foxhole to load. I don't know what's going on with it today. And then we'll just create topic. Hopefully that works. I don't know what's going on with it. Sorry, everybody there on Foxhole. It's hit or miss these days with Foxhole. I know they do a lot of updates and stuff like that. I'll have to reach out to Methods and see what's going on because we've just been having some major problems with it lately. Yeah, people are saying Foxhole's down. No worries. We have plenty of other places for those. Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, DLive, YouTube, Trovo. So we're all over the place. We're going to be adding some new places this week. For those wondering, I hurt my back on Sunday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh. I was literally laid up the last day. I was not smart about it. So I kind of strained a muscle, pulled a muscle. And so I'm like, I'll just stretch it out with some yoga. Yeah, don't do that. That was dumb. That was really dumb. And so that took a day out of my life, and it happens. And what are you gonna do? And you move forward and go on, right? So that's what I've done. And feeling better today. Still limited mobility, but I got a pillow behind my back here. I can barely sit down, but I think it'll be better in a day or two. And so hopefully back to 100% and get back to my normal routine.
Getting old sucks, doesn't it?
Well, how about this? Is getting out of shape sucks.
Yeah. Aiden played in his championship game on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And they were all nervous about it. And so, the killer, so you got to give you guys an idea, this offensive line that Aiden plays on is, it's about, biggest guy is 6'6", 350. And then everybody else is like right around that 250, 260 mark. And then Aiden plays tackle and he's 5'8", 170. Right?
That's me. That was me in high school.
It shows you how tough he is that he's on a line like this. And they've got bigger kids that can fill this position, but he's just tough as hell. So third play of the game, the biggest guy in the team falls on his ankle. He sprains his ankle. He plays the rest of the game with a sprained ankle. High ankle sprain. His ankle's the size of a balloon right now.
Oh, God.
But I was thinking, yep, you're gonna feel that when you're 40. And that's true, man. And my shoulders still hurt from playing high school.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's it takes its toll, man. Like I got a problem with my back, and we found out it's degenerative disc disease, so the two parts of your spine are collapsing. Yeah,
How the hell did you get that? Nobody in the family.
That was from the Navy, dude. So I fell. I tripped one time, and my neck
a lot of this going on.
No. I tripped, and we're at sea. I tripped, and the boat took a bow, and my head went right into the bulkhead, straight like this. And so it collapsed my spinal cord.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was messed up for a few months after that. But, that's most likely what that's from. So, that's life, man. You live it. But, just gotta... I sometimes go to think about what was the name of that Marvel comic. The dude who had the secret powers and he healed himself with his mind. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
It's like...
dude, there's some wild things happening right now, man.
The world is fucking weird.
It is.
It's really weird out there, man.
Yeah, even some of the TikTokers that I follow, like Tumultuous Tock got really weird. I'm like, dude, he getting a little weird on us.
You see him like moving shit with his mind?
Yeah, did you see that shit?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, why'd you do that? I really want that guy on our show. So all you guys out there, if you guys don't follow Tumultuous Tock on TikTok, or if you do, tell him he's got to come on to the Redpill Project onto the Fringe show because he's a really good guy to have.
Oh, we could just have him on the Daily Dose. You know, I'm okay with that as well. But he'd be an awesome guest. He
knows his stuff, and he's right on top of things. Did you see that reporter who was said that they were trying to interview the man that died in the car chase, but he was unavailable? And, true story, man.
Wow.
Live.
But I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of things that make me believe that we are in a simulation. I see a lot of things that make me believe that we're in the midst of an alien invasion. And go ahead.
You gotta see this freaking movie. Okay.
What's the movie?
It's called Bliss. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right.
Guys, it's got Owen Wilson in it and Selma Hayek. So who doesn't look like looking at Selma Hayek? I do because I love the Latinos.
Antonio Banderas.
Well, I love Selma Hayek is so smoking hot, but even if she is a deep stater. So what it is, it's just wild, and it goes right into what we've been saying that about alternate realities and stuff. Now, it's deeper than that, but you guys gotta watch it and then tell me that we aren't on it hitting the nail on the head about it. But it's kind of a weird movie, but it's really good at the same time. Acting's great.
Well, it looks like a comedy, though.
It is not a comedy.
Okay.
I assure you it's not. It's
okay.
More of
so interesting. A few things happened today in the COVID world. FDA set to approve Pfizer COVID vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds by next week. People haven't figured this out yet. The amount of people going back for the second dose has dropped massively, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A few things. Scientists scramble to see why, in rare cases, even the vaccinated can get COVID-19. It's funny because they lie here. It says the CDC and prevention reported that 0.008% of the fully vaccinated become infected, and about 1% of them have died. Now, Jay, what's the transmission rates of COVID-19?
90 transmission
rates? Yeah, that means that you have a 99.7% chance. So you have a 0.3% chance of getting COVID. If you get the vaccine, okay, now you have basically reported that 0.008% of the fully vaccinated have become infected. Now, that's the question is what percentage of that 0.008% is out of the totality of the number? I'm actually going to say that this number is off massively. We saw this pertaining to when Nathan was on this show, and he was talking about the numbers back in December, 245 million vaccinated, and out of that, you'd had thousands that have died. And the question is what are they dying from? Now, this is saying that people who get vaccinated are dying from COVID. Okay. So 1% of the people who get vaccinated die from COVID. Can we attribute to any other vaccine the same amount of numbers? No, we can't. Next is 0.008% is not a high number in the sense of the infectious rate. That's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about here is how many people have actually died after getting the vaccine from other symptoms.
Yeah.
And that number is much, much, much higher than the transmission rate of actually getting COVID and dying. And that's what we need to understand here. I think it's between 2.5% to 3% of the people that are getting this. And I don't think we're counting India's numbers here. Because guess what? India had a record 523,000 cases of COVID in one day the other day. And I told you what this was coming from. I told you exactly where this is coming from. This is coming from the vaccinated. And you know what they're going to do is they're not going to tell you the numbers. They're not going to spin it. I guarantee you that the people dying right now are vaccine shedding. Or it's vaccinated people. One of the two. But we talked about it with menstrual cycles, miscarriages.
So this is interesting you bringing this up. So I saw this TikTok the other day. This woman was dancing to this thing that said that COVID vaccines were approved for pregnant women. And the guy comes on and he's like, I don't know really what you're dancing about. And he said that he goes, 18% of the women that experienced that took it, that were pregnant, experienced this. 18%, or then another 23% experience premature fetuses, okay, which we still don't know what's going to happen. And then if you include the aborted fetuses, just the body actually had
A miscarriage, yeah.
yeah, it's a staggering 36% of women were negatively affected by the vaccine. He goes, if you want to dance about that, you go all right ahead. He goes, but you really need to start reading these goddamn articles. And he's right. 36% of vaccinated pregnant women had negative consequences to it. Are you kidding me? That's just way too high.
It is way too high. And so we were at the softball game. We had boatloads of people there. Then we had like a little fire at my house afterwards. And it's interesting because I didn't get hurt until the next day. But I was talking to people about this, and these are your everyday average people who do not talk like we talk. And they were saying, oh, dude, I'm not getting the vaccine. Nope. Staying away from it. Nope. All the young kids there? Hell no, not getting the vaccine. You're kidding me. You're crazy. It was quite interesting, Jay.
It's
that all the younger generation was like, nope, not getting that vaccine. Not happening.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see, because the guy that's working for me is going to get his second one
You might be hiring
Friday.
soon.
Well, I might be. But I really like this kid, and he's got a good heart and everything. So, but today I feel like shit, and I was around him all day.
Yeah.
And
Stock up on the vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, and potassium.
Yeah.
Get some sun.
Something.
Yep.
I was outside all day today. It is good. I had a great day today, man. Got a lot of work done. A little stressful in the morning, but hey, what are you going to do? You just got to live with it, right? But I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this shedding and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I just don't want Trump to come back and say, I told you to get the vaccine. Be like, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I definitely think there's something up with it.
I do too. And quite potentially, someone could be seeing the consequences of this coming soon. And, well, we'll get there in a minute. But L.A. County, did you hear about this?
Nope.
L.A. County reports no new COVID deaths for the first time in 410 days. California boasts lowest virus rates in the country.
Who does?
California.
Oh.
Massively declining.
Oh.
And this is when Oregon's spiking and everybody else is spiking, and India's on lockdown and yup. And so there's some interesting things happening here with this. It's conflicting. The information's conflicting because on one side of the house, you have COVID cases increasing, pandemics full-blown, right? And on the other side, nothing's happening. Everything's decreasing. You get California, massive lockdowns. You get Texas. Both have decreasing COVID numbers. That doesn't make sense. Then you get places like Oregon, who are similar to California, where you have increasing COVID numbers. That doesn't make sense. Then you have places like India, which, I get it's India, but you get 250 vaccinated within a 1 week period, and then 2 weeks later, you got massive people dying every day.
Yeah. Like, comparatively speaking, how much land mass is India? Is India comparative to the size of Texas? Bigger, smaller?
It's hard to say just because the
it has
maps,
a huge population, right?
Yeah, it's 1 point something billion, but the maps are so distorted. I think that India is like the size of Europe. I'm almost pretty sure. India is fairly large.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a small country. How about that?
Oh, that's perfect. It's a PR push to make Newsom look good under his leadership.
Oh,
That's
very
a
well
great
could be.
point. Ooh.
Very well could be, man. So, remember back in January? Remember when someone was saying that gas prices are going to skyrocket?
Yep.
This is today. Gas prices to continue to climb for the 9th straight day. So in California, the average price for a gallon of gas was $5.99 for premium.
I just filled up today.
Goldman Sachs has gone all in on oil and gas, buying up all the futures contracts. Guys,
Can't imagine why.
telling you, they produce an artificial scarcity. And if you want to know, I'm telling you, the pending doom is coming, because look at this article right here. Warren Buffett says Berkshire Hathaway is seeing very substantial inflation and rising prices. And silver skyrocketed today because of this. And you're going to see silver skyrocket the next few days as well. Warren Buffett, I don't think he's a deep stater too much, but he's calling it as he sees it. And so you have Goldman Sachs buying up oil and gas. You have Berkshire probably buying up gold and silver because they're saying inflation's massively skyrocketing. Once you have spending increase, which we're going to see here in the coming months, you're going to see the price of inflation increase massively due to the spending. We are on the brink of a massive economic collapse. It is coming. Be prepared. If you want crypto, if you want to get into crypto, you know how we do it here. Everything is below. It's linked up. We do a crypto mastermind. We show people about crypto, everything like that. If you could care less about crypto, you want gold and silver, hit me a message. I'll tell you where to get it. Best information I can give you. If you want to know what stocks and bonds to get into, where to invest, our crypto mastermind, it's crypto and investing mastermind. We go over all of this, where you should put your money if it's in the market. So just a thing to keep in mind. But I'm telling you is that if you are not prepared economically, financially, you're going to have a hard time in the next 6 months. Because
Climb DMX said $6 where she is.
Yep.
I think Climb said she, anyways.
Well, but so here's the thing.
Where's she at? Holy shit, $6.
I think that's Vancouver, Canada. But this is what you want to think about is they want to produce an even more nanny state. Jay was just talking about the French Revolution, right? And you said if there's things that we've learned from the French Revolution is when you have this, you
go from a diamond
to a pyramid, social structure.
No, a diamond to an hourglass. So when you squeeze the middle class and turn into an hourglass, you get a revolution.
That's right.
That's exactly what you're doing right now.
Well, but then Jay said, he goes, what they do is social appeasement, and they do this with welfare systems and stimulus checks and these types of things. And this is what they're going to continue to do. They're going to get a social income, basic income system implemented and going to keep on giving it to that bottom part, the poor people, to keep them lulled and asleep. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see inflation spike, and they're going to give you a few $1,000 to keep you quiet. And that few $1,000 ain't going to buy you shit. And at that same time, the dollar is going to devalue, and things like cryptocurrency are going to massively skyrocket. Look at the institutions. You can call them deep staters. You can call them whatever you want. Where are they putting their money? It's really that simple, people. Where are they putting their money? Well, I don't want to support that. Well, then guess what? You're going to be poor. If you're just holding on the dollars, you're going to be poor. I don't know what else to tell you. You got to be smart about it, and you got to be proactive. You got to understand. And you know what? Here's the thing. Gold and silver is great, and I know people say, well, what happens when an EMP strikes and your crypto's worth nothing? I go, well, what happens when an EMP strikes and you can't stay in your house and you have to, migrate with tons of people and you can't carry your 20 pounds of silver? Because ammo's more important. Bread's more important. Cigarettes and beer are more valuable than silver and gold. Understand that. Because a Twinkie will be more valuable than silver and gold if we go to a barter and trade economy. Maybe stock up on Twinkies. I don't know. Chocolate, candies. You get a whole bunch of them over here. But then I saw this today. And I kind of got scared because it's... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So somebody said this in the chat. And this is just spot on. Whatever happened to white hats in control?
Well, I don't know. Wasn't there that talk this weekend about Mike Lindell talking about how he grabbed that top spy team, hacker spy team, and he hired them to go through all the information for the voting systems?
Mm-hmm.
And then Flynn talking about it as well. I wonder
now
who that was.
You got Liz Cheney blasting Trump today because of his continuous rhetoric on the votes, the fraudulent voting.
Oh, fuck her.
Oh yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah,
she
fuck
can
her.
piss off.
But so go back to what Mike Lindell was saying. Is Mike Lindell? I forget, it was on his TikTok, or it was on Pompeo's TikTok. Is Mike Lindell's talking about? He goes, we went out there and we found the top hacking team at the NSA, and we hired them to come and look at all the data per the election, and they're working on it right now. Now, who does that sound like?
White hats.
White hats, but who did that also sound like? What team would that might have been?
Q team.
Could be. Possibly could be. But today we get what? The Biden administration is considering using outside firms to track extremist chatter by Americans online, an effort that would expand the government's ability to gather intel but could draw criticism over surveillance of citizens. Yeah, because that's a violation of your 4th and 5th Amendment rights. That's illegal. That's posse comitatus, if you want to look at it like that. But they're going to use outside firms. And you know what they mean by outside firms, Jay?
No. Who?
They mean foreign firms. They mean China, because it's already happening. Now, this is interesting because have you ever seen that hack on your phone? Where you go to your phone, right? And you hit star pound 21 pound, right? Star pound 21 pound. Star pound 21 pound. And it comes up with this stuff.
What?
And it comes up with error. Look at mine. It says error performing request, unknown error. Setting interrogation failed. Voice forwarding. It basically should say disabled on all these. Mine, it doesn't say anything.
It's star pound 21 pound.
Yep, star pound 21 pound. Type it in your phone.
And then hit call?
Yep, hit call.
Verizon Wireless, we're unable to complete your call.
Star
to speak to a
pound
customer
21
service
pound.
representative, please hang up and dial star 611. Announcement 3. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're unable to complete your call. To speak to a
Doesn't
customer
work on your
service
phone. Well, this is an iPhone, so it works on an iPhone.
This is an iPhone.
It should work on your iPhone. Asterisk pound 21 pound, Jay. Should look like that.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Oh,
we're
weird.
unable to complete.
Yeah.
When I click it, I get this. I get the settings menu, okay? And it should say disabled for all of them. Mine doesn't say disabled. And it actually says the performance of this request came back with an error. So, I don't know. Maybe they're already listening to everything we're saying. TikTok is spyware. I don't know. Listen, every tech company is spyware. Everything is spyware. There is no getting around spyware these days, guys. That's what we have to realize. Everything is spyware. Everything's listening to you. Everything is tracking and accumulating your information. Okay? You're not going to get around it. But here's the thing, is what Biden is considering here is massively unconstitutional and illegal. And I'm calling for it again. We need to stop this shit. General Flynn just talked about Federalist 51, Madison. I'm talking about Federalist 46. This shit needs to happen. And I had a lot of you guys reach out to me. I got overwhelmed with emails, going through them. But I'm going to set up a group. We'll just call it Federalist 46. And we just need people to start planning. We need people to start getting active. I had a few patriots talk to me and say they have an event coming up on September 11th in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to be there. So this is going to be really interesting. I had someone else contact me about some event in Florida. And the guy, I don't know what the fuck was up with that. That was kind of interesting. Not looking to sponsor events that I'm not invited to. Just, I don't know. Doesn't make me feel all good and safe. Oh, I'm going to sponsor your event. Fucking dick. Anyways, Bill and Melinda Gates are splitting up after 27 years. What is this about? What is going on here?
That could be about a lot of things.
Well, I don't think it's about money.
No, I definitely don't think it's about money, but let's say that you might think you might get the house sued out of you and you wanted to split up your assets, right? Let's say you think you might get popped for this whole COVID thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to protect your loved one. I don't
That's
know.
right. You're protecting your fortune at that point, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know what's going on with this. Also, I heard is someone was talking about, what is it? Let me see here. Someone sent this in a text message earlier, and it was pertaining to this that. What was it? Man.
Yeah. Somebody said Melinda's a man. I totally believe Melinda was a man. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. So this is he saw this. Our Guy Plus Beard saw a post on MSNBC announcing a link between Bill and Epstein. Contrary to Bill's claims, he has no personal or financial links to him. Also announced today, the Apollo Global buys Yahoo and AOL. Apollo co-founder is former Leon Black, who just stepped down in March after it was revealed he paid Epstein $158 million from 2012 to 2016 for tax advice. Also accused sexual harassment by former mistress. Is Maxwell singing like a choir boy? And that's what's happening now. We're trying to see these moves by these people. Could well possibly be. I'm in the belief system right now that I don't think these people are human. I know I sound crazy. I know it sounds a little whacked out, but I think we are in the midst, or we're in the end point of an alien invasion that was slowly and systematically taking over our leaders. It's a return to the body snatchers, if you want to look at it like that. It's exactly what was happening. It's just the only thing in my mind that logically makes sense, because nothing is making sense right now. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds weird. But you know what? In a few years, I don't think it will. We all know that there are extraterrestrial civilizations out there. We all know that aliens exist. We all know that they've been visiting this planet. What is stopping a group of rogue extraterrestrials to come down here that utilize their advanced knowledge and technology to manipulate and rule and control and dominate a whole planet? Absolutely nothing. Yep. And why wouldn't they? Think about it. Like, let's say that you had like two losers, right, on a planet who, are like bored. They live hundreds of thousands of years, and they decide, let's go find a planet less advanced to ours, and let's go manipulate it. It'd be like going and playing VR or chess. See how it's like a big old game of Risk. It might seem out there, it might seem crazy, but you know what? And I think in a few years, after a lot of this stuff is disclosed, it's going to make a lot more sense. And this brings us to the next part. Harry Reid, the deep stater there. UFO fragments are likely in Lockheed Martin's possession, says ex-Senator Harry Reid. Now, this is interesting because Lockheed Martin has something known as Skunk Works. Ben Rich, who is the former Lockheed Skunk Works CEO from the 1960s to the 1990s until his passing, or 1980s till his passing, he was giving the commencement speech, I think it was at Stanford, to a whole bunch of electrical engineers. And he says, we now have the ability to take ET back home to the stars. Except you will not see that technology come out of the hands of the black projects. That would take an act of God. So interesting that he said that, because he was former Lockheed Martin, and now Harry Reid is really corroborating this story of what Ben Rich was talking about. And what a lot of other Lockheed Martin scientists have come about. David Sereda did a lot of interviews with former people who claim to have worked for Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. One of them was a senior scientist at Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. I forgot his names. You can still find the videos online. David Sereda still has them. And this guy was the one who talked about what they did is they took two magnets, one neodymium magnet and another neodymium magnet, and they insulated one of them. And when they dropped it, it actually dropped slower than the non-insulated magnet. And what that validated to them is that there is that gravity itself is electromagnetic in nature. And so,
makes sense.
And this is what we've been hearing all along from T. Townsend, or what's his T. Townsend Jones, or forget his fucking name. All those guys from the 1960s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Someone's going to correct me on that one. But so Harry Reid's an interesting angle here, because Skinwalker Ranch is near Utah, near Nevada. Skinwalker Ranch is coming out with the Pentagon to have been T. Townsend Brown. Thank you, T. Townsend Brown. Skinwalker Ranch has been said to be investigated by the Department of Defense. Now, if we go back to the whole Q stuff, do we remember that Hillary Clinton on her private server was sending classified information to China through Reply and through Forward? This was validated through the Horowitz report on this. And when the IG McCullough came up in the Senate Intelligence Committee and was asked these questions by the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, he said, well, what was in those emails? And he said, it's classified. I can't tell you. He goes, well, can we go to a closed door session? He says, no, it's classified. You have to be read in. These are special access programs, and you and me don't have access to them. He goes, I had to pull teeth and nail, and I'm the IG of the intelligence community just to get access to them. And I'm telling you, they're not going to give you access to them. He goes, wait, hold on. I'm the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. We can't go to a closed-door room. I got the highest security clearance in the United States government. You're telling me I can't get a hold of this information? He said, nope, classified. And so people asked what was in this information? And I started putting it together when Trump came into office and all these college professors started getting arrested. And what you start to see is that the Department of Defense, DARPA, started reverse engineering alien technology. We find this through what Bob Lazar had said at Area 51. And Bob Lazar said the biggest problem that they had with reverse engineering is no collaboration, is that it was so compartmentalized, is that you could not know what anybody else is doing or their prior research. And this really halted a lot of the technological progress. He said the best way that they could ever reverse engineer these things is just to release it to universities, saying that someone created it on the earth and tell them to back engineer it. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what they did, is they started releasing this alien technology to certain U.S. universities and giving DARPA grants and DOD grants and NASA grants to different professors. And when they did this, these students would go in and start looking at all this technology and thinking it was made on Earth and start reverse engineering it. Now, China started finding out who these professors were, inviting them to China, filling their pockets full of money, blackmailing them the way they do. And next thing you know, a lot of these professors got swapped out with Chinese professors. A lot of these professors were working with Wuhan Institute of Technology as well. And China started increasing their military prowess and their technological might massively over the last 10 to 15 years because they were stealing this technology from us, the U.S. Trump comes in, puts a halt to that, stops that, they get pissed off, and basically threaten to use that technology against us, but our technology was far more advanced and superior. But so, my theory has always been this, is Eisenhower created something called Majestic 12. This was a group of 12 men, military and civilian, that were brought together to basically keep the technology and the back engineering stuff secret. So much secret that they locked Eisenhower out almost immediately. Why? Because he was a two-term president, and after that, they didn't need him anymore. He had no influence. So why give him access to the program? It was a smart move. It made sense. But you have to understand why Majestic 12 was created in the first place. It was to keep the technology out of the hands of the intelligence agencies and the bureaucracy. Critically important. They knew there was coups forming in the country. They knew different factions of the deep state of the New World Order were trying to take over the United States, and they knew that by preserving this technology and keeping it so dark and so black and so out of the hands of these people, that it would allow the United States to basically live on forever, as long as these people could never get a hold of it. And we see that Khrushchev and Kennedy even talked about releasing this technology in November of '63. What happened a few days later? Goodbye, Mr. Kennedy. If you ever watched, Jay, have you ever watched The Umbrella Academy?
No, I don't think I have.
They only did one season of it on Netflix. But basically, the Umbrella Academy is the father dude is the one who is supposedly taking out JFK. And the reason he was going to do it is because they were all time travelers, and JFK was about to unveil their plan. Unveil the time travel. But anyways, it just kind of reiterates what we're talking about here. And so what you have is you have these deep state factions which have been trying to integrate and implement into this program and get access to this technology for the longest time. And the question is did they get access to this technology? I'm going to say no. I don't think they did. I think they got little bits of access. And here's the thing is we have validation that they didn't get access to it. You remember when Bill Clinton came into power, he said he was going to declassify and release all this information on UFOs and aliens? Podesta, John Podesta, I'm going to release all the information. Oh, we're going to get it all released. Even in his leaked emails, he's talking about the UFO information and getting it released. Now, many people don't know. If you go to the Stars Academy, Tom DeLonge, Hal Puthoff, do you want to know who one of the big funders of that project is? A guy by the name of John Podesta. I wonder what they're trying to do. Now, what have they done is this. And this is why I say saying that everything that's happening right now might be a little nefarious in what's going on with UFOs and aliens. But to the Stars Academy and Hal Puthoff, all these guys, they know this information's out there and they're trying to get it for themselves. Why? Because the deep state wants this technology and they don't have it now. And we have validation they don't have it now because guess what? They're making these moves to get it. Harry Reid coming out saying Lockheed Martin has it. I know they do. He's right along with them. Why do I say that? Because Harry Reid was basically funded by a guy by the name of Robert Bigelow. Robert Bigelow was a multi-billionaire who wanted the release of information on UFOs, aliens, and this type of technology. So much so that he funded Harry Reid's campaign multiple times. And then what he did is he created an aerospace company, got DOD and NASA contracts. Eventually, his company is the one that sponsored ATIP, where Luis Elizondo worked at the Pentagon. So they're the ones basically going over all that data on the ATIP program. Was Bigelow Aerospace, and this is why Harry Reid. So this whole thing is connected to the deep state wanting to get this technology. And the question is do they have the technology? No. They're still fucking pushing for it. And guess what? I think Trump got in, and I think Trump handed all that technology over to Space Force, and I think Space Force has locked them all out of it. I'm almost positive of it.
Didn't he own Skywalker Ranch too?
Bigelow? He might have,
Yeah,
actually. I think he does. I actually think he does own Skywalker Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker, yeah.
Yeah, he also founded NIDS and bought Skinwalker Ranch. Yep, exactly. You know, Razi says Bill and Melinda Gates are getting divorced. God is working. Yeah, that could be. Or they're maybe securing their assets a little bit. Gowanna Hill, we went over the Law of War Handbook multiple times. I'm former military. We went over that back in, I think, October of 2020, pertaining to a lot of the different references, 11.3, 11.4, and so forth. North Texas, stay safe, guys, under tornado watch. John B. Alexander was his minder. Yep, Colonel Alexander. And if you listen to a lot of these guys like Lear and Alexander, a lot of the stuff that they talk about is pretty far-fetched. And you got to wonder, I mean, they have some information, but they don't. And I think a lot of what we're seeing right now in the UFO community is being perpetuated by these people that want it released because they want to control it. And I think that's what Trump was ultimately trying to do by releasing this information, was to put it out into the public domain so everybody has it, and that this technology gets released. Here's the thing. If these technologies get released and nobody owns the patent, or Earth owns the patent, guess what? This world changes overnight. Nobody can profit from that technology. It's open source. That's going to be an interesting day. And I think that's coming. I really do think that's coming. We're a month away from UFO alien disclosure. And this shit is getting real. How many people have seen all these UFO sightings that have been happening around the world? Did you watch that one with those two orbs, Shay?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the commercial to finish right now.
Freaking commercials, man.
Yeah, they play a commercial. This is
Remember when you could go online and not have commercials?
Two mysterious orbs caught on camera flying through Palm Coast Yard. That was kind of crazy. That could have been anything. I mean, that's but that could have been anything. But you know, I look more towards the sky and what's happening in the sky for UFOs and those types of things. But yeah, do you ever remember in the 90s they talked about rods? Have you ever heard of rods? Rods were...
Oh, yeah. The shooting across.
Yeah.
And you could only see them during slow-mo, yeah.
Yeah, and so I've seen rods flying in airplanes before. Absolutely 100%, man. Like, those things are legit and real. They're like little creatures that live in the 30,000 feet.
You know, I'm not being facetious when I say this.
Yeah.
Have you seen the claims of the fairies existing?
I have.
I mean...
Well, what if fairies were just aliens? Or what if there was, you know, well, hold on. So I want to touch on one. So Sick Day says, Josh, how would disclosure affect markets and cryptos? I think crypto would skyrocket. I think the other markets would tend to go down. Tech companies might increase a little bit. But what if, like I said, what if we live in an augmented reality? What if we are being manipulated and we live in an augmented reality where our reality is right here? Everything is happening right in front of us. There might be gnomes and fairies and all these other types of things. Elves, right?
Uh-huh.
But we're being controlled to the point where our reality is augmented. And we just can't see it. We can't interact with it and we can't see it. Or what if fairies were just aliens? I mean, who knows? But the question is if there are these types of animals and species or beings out there, fairies and Bigfoot, why the hell do they hide themselves?
I don't know.
Why are they afraid of us?
Have you seen us? We're fucking mean.
Well, not all of us.
Nah, dude. If you're telling me at 8 years old with a BB gun, you saw a fairy, you wouldn't have shot it. You would have shot it, just like we did with the frog pond. I mean, you know, that's why. Because
potentially
humans don't value life. We don't value the life. Some humans don't value the life of other humans, and so if I was these species, I'd want to hide from us too. Remember that movie? It's I'm trying to think.
Avatar?
Of it. No, it's not Avatar, but more or less, it's got like trolls and stuff in it, and it's
The
basically the twin brothers, but it's played by the same guy, the same actor. He now plays that autistic doctor on TV. Oh man, it used to be Aiden's favorite movie. And it was really, really good. But essentially, it was about a scientist that had written about this this other parallel world that existed in our world, and that there were certain things you could do to see these creatures and stuff like that. And by him accumulating all of this knowledge, essentially they kidnapped him and took him away into a land where he wouldn't age.
Labyrinth?
Because no, it's not Labyrinth.
The Mysterious Island of Dr. Moreau, or no?
No.
Is this the one where he carried the bag around and he had the little thing and he had the whole universe in his bag?
Seth Rogen is in it. Spiderwick Chronicles.
Ah, Spiderwick Chronicles. Gotcha.
American fantasy based on the book series named by Holly Black and Tony. Spiderwick Chronicles. And so, why can't that exist? Hey, somebody got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Is why can't something like that exist? It absolutely could be. And I tend to think that what we're seeing right now is there's something going on. I saw this TikTok today that like Mueller was the son of another German, that Rosenstein was the son of Himmler, and I said no. There's I want to show somebody. Back in the Q days we used to do this. I used to show people this, and you'd ask people, who does General Patton look like? Right? 4-star Army General George Patton, right? Who does General Patton look like? And everybody's looking at a picture of him right now. And this was always interesting to me because you could go through history and you could find these people that were eerily similar and familiar. And there it is. Patton and General Mattis. Exact twins, dude. Patton, Mattis. Patton, Mattis. Patton, Mattis. And then you go in here and you do like Rod Rosenstein, right? You do what is Himmler? Heimlich Himmler, Rod Rosenstein. And you would even think that Rod Rosenstein is Heimlich Himmler. Like, look at that. Just, man. Like, it's just there. And so people are like, what if Rod Rosenstein was the son of Heimlich Himmler? And well, what if cloning has been going on for a long time?
Yeah, did you see that TikTok I sent you today about Barack and
Tutankhamun?
Tutankhamun.
Yeah.
And that when they opened up his casket in 2009 was the emergence of Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And if you look, they eerily look alike.
They do. And it could have easily have been his DNA. Now, what I'm getting to with the Heimlich Himmler thing and Rod Rosenstein or with Patton and Mattis is that what if we really don't understand life? What if every generation inhabits the same DNA? Right? The DNA, your spirit, your soul, can only inhabit the same resonant frequency over and over again as you grow.
Yeah.
That would account for a lot of these things where people look familiar throughout the generations.
Yeah.
Now, who would I have been in the 1940s? Come on. I had to have been someone famous. Come on. Someone search. Don't look under Nazis because I'm not there. But I don't know. It's it could be cloning. It could just be we don't know enough about genes and genetics to really understand it all. Who knows? Who really knows, man? But there's some weird shit going on in the world, man.
Soul jumping, man.
It could be. Have you ever seen that TV show or that show on Netflix called OA? The OA?
I love OA. That was a good show.
All right. So
I like the first series, or the first episode, or the first series.
what if that was real?
Yeah.
What if it was real? What if we all lived? It goes back to Jet Li and the One, right? That we could move out of this dimension to a new dimension instantaneously just by mimicking the correct frequency or harmonic. And it would appear as if this body died here in this reality. That's the one thing that people forget to understand, is the consciousness is what moves, not me. And so, do you remember this story of this Korean girl in California? And she was playing. They thought she was playing a game of elevator, and she was getting in the elevator and going up and going down, getting in the elevator, going up and going down, and then she mysteriously disappeared. And they found her in the
Water tower.
In the water tower.
Yeah.
Do you know what she was actually playing? They made a Netflix series about this.
No, what was she playing?
So, she was actually trying to do exactly what we were just talking about. There was this game in Korea, and there is this process you go through, and that if you succeed, they'll find your body and not know how you die. And they found her in this water tower, which had no entry points for a human body. Impossible for her to be in there. Still unexplained to this day.
So what are you trying to say? That she ascended into a different body? What?
Yeah, that she ascended to a different dimension.
Oh, a different dimension.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing as OA. She's trying to move to a different dimension. Michelle was telling me about it. She's like, you need to watch this thing on Netflix. I'm like, I'll try. It's all in Korean. But I forgot what it's called. I'll have to check it out. But I don't know, man. There's going to be some interesting things happening. Then as summer increases, as we move towards August, the hottest month of the year, things are going to get fucking crazy. Did you see that video of Donald Trump? Guess it was another wedding. He said, big things happening. Are you watching Arizona? And guess what? You know what they're going to find in there. He was at a wedding at Mar-a-Lago. Just happens to jump up on stage. And he goes, Arizona, they're finding the votes. And guess what? Right after Arizona, it's going to be Michigan, then Wisconsin, then Pennsylvania, then Georgia. He goes, I'm telling you, keep on watching. It's happening, man. They're fighting back. It's just nobody's reporting on it. So we got to be ready, people. We got to be ready to take that fight, to bring that fight, to be that fight. We are the world, right? But, hey, guys, don't forget tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Redpill Project's Daily Dose, live with you Monday through Thursday. For everybody on Pilled who had to join us on other channels, thank you for joining us on the other channels. We'll try to figure out what the hell's going on with Pilled. Much love and respect. God bless. Take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.